Almost everyone in the United States at one time or another has traveled at least a stretch of old Route 66.
It's the road where the people from Oklahoma went to California. It's a part of American history.
Just the name conjures up images of going somewhere.
To me, it's going back in time, seeing things that I grew up with.
So let's travel this blue highway all the way from Chicago to Santa Monica. Route 66 is still a magic name. I believe that will never change. And I hope you agree once you join me on my beloved Mother Road. I'm Michael Wallis, author of Route 66, The Mother Road, and your host on this video journey that we call Getting There. This program is about taking time to escape the super slab and return to the way America used to be. Here in my study in Tulsa, Oklahoma, not very far from the original pavement, I'm surrounded by images and icons from America's Main Street. Pieces of original pavement, old battered and bullet-riddled signs, photographs, road maps, some of them stained with burger grease. But more important to me than all of this stuff are the memories that are here in my heart and the memories that are indelible in my mind. Memories of the old road, memories of the people and places who are still there along both flanks of that wonderful highway. Memories of getting there. I feel pretty lucky. I've had the opportunity to live up and down the shoulders of Route 66, from Chicago to Santa Monica. But out of all my memories, past, present, and future ones I'm still dreaming about, I like to think back to those days when I was a boy in Missouri, and it was June. School was out and we went on vacation. Dad had the Plymouth packed up, thermos bottle, ice chest, everything was taken care of. And when the wheels of that car hit the pavement, the vacation began. We didn't get gypped out of a single moment. Going to our destination, the act of getting there, was a vital part of the vacation experience. And it can still be that way today, out there on Route 66, on the Mother Road. There's adventure and escapade lurking around every corner and bend. And it's not that hard to find. Once you've read all the books, studied the maps, talked to the Route 66 associations in all 8 states, then what you need to do is just follow the signs. They're all out there. Memorial Route 66 signs in several states and cities, signage for restaurants, cafes, gas stations, all sorts of tourist attractions. They're littered up and down both sides of the road. Many of them are classics. Think of Route 66 as a yellow brick road. Go from city to farm town, from natural to man-made attraction by following the necklace of signs. Merrimack Caverns, the Big Texan Steak Ranch, Tucumcari Tonight, Jackrabbit Trading Post, and so many more. They're still out there. Some of the signs are odd-shaped, others are garish. There's a few of them that reflect the time when they were erected, like the launching pad in Illinois. But the best ones, my favorites, are those ribbons of neon. The neon lights, the neon signs, they still show the way. Many of these signs, whether they're neon or painted on an old board or the side of a barn, actually tell you what to expect, but some only hint at what you'll find. Just listen to the names. Munger Moss Motel, the Blue Swallow, Pony Soldier, T&T Cafe, Ted Drew's Frozen Custard, Ideal Fireworks, Funk's Grove, Red's Giant Hamburg, TP Curios, Steak and Shake, the Ariston, the Snowcap, Coral Court, the Frontier Cafe, El Rancho, Powwow Trading Post, Grand Canyon Cafe, Will Rogers Motor Court, Irene's, Two Guns. There's not a call in the lot. No matter what the sign says, you can bet they'll lead you to an authentic Route 66 oasis. Some of my favorite signs from my boyhood are the handmade ones selling grapes. They're found between Roadside and St. James in Missouri. Italian grape farmers settled that neck of the woods, and each September, grape stands grace the road. Sometimes I go up there and watch the truckers and travelers who are looking for a natural break. They grind to a halt, jump out, and buy big sacks of juicy grapes and jugs of fresh juice.
And the honey's 3. We have some strawberry jelly and some Concord grape jelly.
So grapes grow well around here, huh?
Yeah, they grow. We grow them right outside of town.
Oh, they smell wonderful.
A few states to the west of Missouri, beyond Gallup, just past the New Mexico-Arizona border, there are no grape stands in sight, although the Grapes of Wrath crowd passed this way during the 30s. At Lupton, Arizona, the signs on Route 66 are big, bright, and get the job done, selling tax-free cigarettes, Indian moccasins and rubber tomahawks, Navajo rugs, velvet paintings, and neat rows of steer skulls. Heading either east or west on Route 66, some of the best signs beckon travelers to pause for the night at one of the countless hotels, motels, or motor courts dotting the edges of the old road. Here are just 2 of my favorites. First, there's El Rancho at Gallup, New Mexico. Since 1937, so many Route 66 travelers have pulled into this road gem just to refresh themselves while driving through western New Mexico. El Rancho's still a landmark in Gallup, and although it can't decide if it's a hotel or motel, it's a worthwhile stop in this Indian capital of the United States. The guest registers log such celebrities as Spencer Tracy, Katharine Hepburn, Kirk Douglas, Alan Ladd, Humphrey Bogart, Jack Benny. From the beginning, El Rancho was a gathering place for Hollywood celebrities who came to make the countless westerns filmed in the region. Legend has it a thirsty Errol Flynn once rode his horse right into the bar, demanding both man and beast be served. Ronald Reagan slept here long before he entered politics and became president. And Henry Fonda also called El Rancho home, at least for a while. Today it's fun to browse the photo collection and see just how many of the stars who stayed here you can name. Another of the true relics of Route 66 motor courts teeters on the brink of extinction. It's at the edge of San Bernardino County in the city of Rialto, California. It's hard to miss the Wigwam Village Motel. Those 19 stucco teepees were planted not far from Hollywood, and over the years, especially those prime time years, they provided shelter for lots of exhausted motorists. These wigwams have seen better days. Now they're mostly just seedy, rent-by-the-hour retreats for casual lovers. During its heyday, the sign out front lured travelers to the wigwam saying, "Get more for your wampum, sleep in a wigwam." Today, the battered old sign simply reads, "Do it in a teepee." Once you've had a good night's rest, you'll want to refuel at one of the diners, drive-ins, or greasy spoons out along Route 66. The Mother Road and Grub seem to go together like Abbott and Costello. There are all sorts of places to dine and wine along the shoulders of the road. Here are some of the best. Here we are in Albuquerque, New Mexico, another big city on Route 66. For so many years, it's been taking people in as gas stations, motels, and places like this one right here, this eatery, the 66 Diner, an old gas station that they've converted into a slick new cafe. All the grease and the gas tanks are out, and instead they put in chrome booths, a real good jukebox, and some malts that you will die for. So I like to stop here whenever I'm going through the land of enchantment and refuel just before I take on the westward half of this trek down the Mother Road. Don't forget Albuquerque, and if you come here, for Pete's sakes, make some time for the 66 Diner. You won't regret it. To the west, right along Andy Devine Boulevard, aka Route 66 in Kingman, Arizona, a die-hard highway fan has built a shrine to the Mother Road. Jerry Richards calls his coffee shop the Route 66 Distillery.
Well, we had fun when we did the restaurant. About a year and a half prior to that, we went out and just kind of searched from yard sales to swap meets to antique stores and from people bringing them over. And most of the stuff is 80% original. A couple of things that touch me a little bit, of course, is one original Arizona Route 66 shield sign, a pinball machine, an old root beer barrel. You know, it was fun collecting the things, and for most of all, to let the other people that come in to enjoy and look and take pictures of them.
During its glory days, Route 66 was famous for its roadhouses. There's a great one, part saloon, part dance hall, part restaurant. It's one of the first on the Mother Road, on the outskirts of Flagstaff, Arizona. The Museum Club is still going strong today. This, the largest log cabin in Arizona, was built in 1931 by a taxidermist, Dean Eldridge, as a museum to house his unique collection of mounted trophies. Many of them still lurk inside the club today. In 1936, the museum became a full-fledged nightclub, proudly maintained by owner Martin Zanzucci.
Dean Elridge was a collector of all sorts of unique and odd animals and rifles and Indian artifacts. And he had this idea of building a trading post on the edge of Flagstaff on the famous Route 66. He needed an attention-getting device to lure the traffic off of the highway into his building, and he saw that tree in the woods, and it just dawned on him that was the perfect element. We have a picture of the tree actually as it stood in the woods before Dean Elridge cut it down and inverted the tree and made it his doorway. And we uncovered the original news article, and it says that Dean Elridge's museum, which houses over 30,000 items on exhibit, everything from two-headed snakes, three-legged sheep, a whole wall of collectible Winchesters, Indian blankets, the odd, the unusual. Dean Elridge had it here, and for 1 week only, it would be free to the public, but from there on after, the price of admission would be $0.25. Through its heyday, you could imagine the amount of traffic on a two-lane highway out in front of this building. Trucks, pickup trucks, people traversing back and forth to California. Just the traffic in Flagstaff was always an exciting time. There was just so many people and so many different people and license plates. As kids, we would count the different license plates that came through town, and for us that was an education, just to see the different license plates that came through this city.
You can still see some innovative license plates, both vintage ones and the personalized variety, along the Mother Road today. And speaking of license plates and the vehicles they're attached to, let's get back to this process of getting there. Whether you're taking the trip in an 18-wheeler, a Volvo, or a Vet, you'll need to stop for gas, oil, and to clean the bugs off your windshield. There are still places out on that old highway where someone will actually pump your gas and clean your windshield without you asking. Some of those old filling stations have gained new lives and serve other purposes. Out west of Kingman in the desolate Sacramento Valley, a flea market has taken the place of gas pumps. And even here, the history of the old road remains alive. It's being retold in foreign lands, and some of those good folks come here to see the road for themselves.
We try to tell people that there is still an old road from the 30s and 40s. My interest as the author is how was the lifestyle in the 40s and the 50s, and the Americans are going to discover it, that it was much more leisurely, that was beauty, it was quiet, it was relaxed, it was less McDonald's and more simple motel right at the road, privately owned. And I think they rediscover their own past and like it very much. That's it. And you know, everyone in America nowadays is talking about crisis of confidence in the future. What do? They turn to the past.
Unless they hitchhike, climb on a Harley, or take the bus. Route 66 travelers, both foreign and domestic, need to have a set of wheels. Without cars, Route 66 would be nothing.
Why don't you let it coast back?
Today on the historic road are cars from all eras of the highway's past, especially at the many auto shows along the road. I've found that Route 66ers from the far west are especially loyal to their automobiles.
I think it boils down to age, something that you couldn't have when you were a kid and you remember them. I've been in Southern California most of my life, and surfing and Woodies have always been a first love. Like I said, I have 4 of them. I'm running out of space.
I don't know what it is that makes one car particularly attractive, but the Impala is definitely one of them. 64 model is my favorite, obviously. It would be nice if it had the bucket seats, the SS model, but just the same, it's still a very nice vehicle. Us baby boomers, you know, trying to retain our adolescence.
It's got a 427 engine, however. I had an aluminum block made for it, and it's 496 cubic inches, puts out 610 horsepower. I smile a lot. It's difficult not to smile when you drive it, I'll tell you. It's a thrill. I was going to say it's better than sex, but not yet. I'm not that old.
These are proud folks, proud of the old route and proud of their cars. Chevys, Mercurys, Cobras, T-Birds, Woodies, big gas-guzzling Detroit sleds. All of them kept gleaming and shiny as new thanks to lots of elbow grease and TLC.
Well, if you were around in, when you were like 20 years of age and you used to look at people driving these 60s cars, the people that had a lot of money in those days, and then today you're now 40-odd years of age and you can see the reclaimed youth by driving this car down the freeway, the Route 66 with the top down and the 8-track playing or whatever, at the time. People are just turning back the clock in their own minds.
The attraction to it is just to get in a car and cruise Route 66 with other people with the same interest and gamble on the fact that the car will make it or not. That's what it really is. I mean, you get out there, you've got to drive the car and it's got to make it. So the older the car you have or the rarer it is and harder to get parts, the more the gamble is.
The fuel pump's vapor lock. That's a brand new pump, too, or a rebuild.
What's
Okay, again. Looks like we got it working here time being, yeah. Lordy, lordy.
Classic Fords and flooded carburetors. It's all part of life on America's blue highways, those secondary roads that have been left in the dust by the 4-lane super slab interstates. Next time, we'll visit some of the surprising little museums that dot the shoulders of Route 66. Until then, I'm Michael Wallis. Travel well.